Hello everyone. So today we'd like to introduce you our dear guest, Patri Prabhu, coming here all the way from Nepal. And he's a renounced monk in the tradition of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Been traveling for over 20 years, since the 90s. And right now he's mostly resides in Nepal, but traveling all across the world, bringing light to people, knowledge, and hopefully today we're gonna get something from him that will stay in our hearts. So he will be talking about love, God, and the purpose of our lives.
Thank you. Namaste. Namaste. If you don't mind, I will be walking, huh? And then I will be able to see all of you. And can I do one thing? My humble request. Can we sit like this?
In a circle?
Yeah. Much better. That's official, I will. First of all, I'm very happy to express myself. I'm really extremely happy to be here. Straight from Himalayas, from the top of the river, and different parts of the world. And I feel it's very, very inspiring by seeing so many enthusiastic people, those who are looking for enlightenment. As you can notice, enlightenment is about change. Sometimes you have to be ready just to change the situation instantly. You have to change the format completely. And in order to understand supreme truth, there is several ways how to do that. There is shortcut and there is staircase journey. And I will be very happy to share with you whatever little realizations we have got while traveling for the last 28 years, traveling all over the world. And recently we had Kumbh Mela. How many of you heard the Kumbh Mela? Some of you are obviously from India have heard. This is the big festival where 60+ million of people coming together for a period of 1-2 months. It's actually unbelievable. And I've seen this, some yogis, they're living for a couple of hundred of meters, they have long hair for 15 meters, some of them this small size, some of them different mystical powers. And everybody trying to achieve something in life. So what we're going to do today is, I'll be speaking honestly, I'll be shooting from the hip. Like cowboy. Because I just don't know, I just completely need to be with holy people in a holy place, to speak holy topics in a holy day. So basically, what we'll do today, we'll speak about ABCD of theosophy or theology, or science of God. ABCD means aim, behavior, character, and discipline. Very important. ABCD, foundation. If you know this ABCD as a foundation or principles, then you can start building. It's not very difficult. You can make different shape, different colors, but foundation basically is the same for everyone. And I really wanted to introduce myself already, I did, but to know about all of you, few words, few lines. You can kindly introduce yourself. So I'm just, what are you doing and what is your sort of interests? So I can really know what is your expectations and what we can speak about. Does it make sense? If you can I really want to know the platform from where we can start. Can we start? Just,
we just have to introduce ourselves.
Yeah, you can introduce yourself and just few words. What are you doing and what is your, I'm always saying nice. Needs, interest, concern, and expectations. Make sense? I would prefer, actually, I'm a professor in our theological university, and I really prefer if you can make notes. You can have a lot of things to make notes today, by the way. It's not just spring walk, my time. If you can manage some more notes, it will be great. If not, that's okay. But I tell you, you can definitely gain something. Whatever you got in 30 years, you can get in 30 minutes. And in Hindi, there is one saying. When I came to India, I really wanted to get first-hand experience. I learned Sanskrit, I learned Hindi, Bengali, Nepali, not just because I wanted to show off, see how great I am. No, I really wanted to enter the depth of the science to understand first-hand experience, not just hearing from BBC or from ABC. Because usually when there's a little Chinese telephone, you can say something and at the end something else comes out. So it's very, very important to get this to pratyaksha. Raj Vidya Rajamukhim, Pavitraja Uttamam, Pratyaksha, Bhagavan Dharmyam, Sukham Kartuma, Vidyam, Pratyaksha is direct perception. It's first a level of receiving absolute truth. So that's why I was studying Sanskrit and Hindi, and in Hindi there is one saying, Karun Kamandala ka kari tulsi ka kaisai, Sarita Jal Nadi Adhikam Mundritisana. It means Karun Kamandala. All of us, we have certain container of our activities, previous life. And as all of you know, we're living not only one life. As we came to this room, now we are, after some time, we're going to leave this place. Before today moment, we didn't know that whether I'm existing or not. We never even knew each other. But it doesn't mean that I was dead and gone. No, I was somewhere, you were somewhere. We just simply meet for a while. And it's up to us whether we will become the best friends for the rest of our life or we will never meet again. That choice, power of choice is there. And therefore, this commando means we have certain container, and if that container is small, Sarita Jal Nadi, even you can come close to the river or ocean or cook well, you can get not more than your container will allow you to get. Making sense? It's ocean in front of you, but you can get only one excuse me, can you so, and from very beginning, I told you I was shooting from the hips, whatever I can see, so I can just use like means, whatever. You can use everything, because my purpose is to bring the message across. How it's going to work, I don't know, but I know that go, and I'm really very from open heart, I really want to share something with you. It's called Anubhava. Anubhava means experience. Yam Swanubhava Magilam Shutisaramitam Adhyatmati Papatitikam Tamundham. Deepak doesn't say it light, but Deepak means candle. Deepak means enlightenment. Adhyatma Deepam means spiritual enlightenment, which comes from inside. As a word Buddha, I noticed we have wonderful positions of word Buddha here. And I just came from Lumbini, and I'm very much keen to study his teachings and just very much open to his teachings. Because before I used to study Chinese philosophy, and I was crazy for martial arts and Shaolin. Before we used to study many years, and when I was in the army before, actually, lieutenant in the Russian army. So as our commando training, for 5 years, we were crazy to study Buddhism philosophy and Bruce Lee and all this stuff. So I was very interested with the teachings of Siddhartha. When he was bringing that light. So he once, and yes, knowledge starts from a certain standpoint. It's called humility. Once it was a bottle. And once bottleneck asked the bottle, you're giving water to everyone, but now you give water to me. I'm the dearest and close friend of yours. I'm your young brother, but you never give water to me. See, from glasses and different containers coming, you're giving them, but you never give one drop of water to me. And bottle answer, my dear bottleneck younger brother, everybody coming to me down. So I'm giving. You sat on my head. How I can give you? I love to give you, but you're sitting on my head. When I want to give you, you just cannot get it. So in spiritual enlightenment, there are three main obstacles. Tree. Anyone can guess what is that? Okay, I'll share. I know that. I know that. The biggest obstacle. In Sanskrit, it's called ahankara. Ahankara atmakar kahani maniyati. That's why knowledge starts, any knowledge, actually, whether it's martial arts, and just recovering my memories. When we were studying martial arts, our sensei used to come and he used to beat us, literally beat us. And all martial arts, perhaps if you don't know, starts from the basic postures. Like one of them is Kibadashi, for example, this is a posture. You have to study, because from this posture, all the postures come, all this kata and Kibadashi, and it has to, you have to be really deep down rooted in this posture. So nobody can push you, you have to stand. It's not only physically, you have to use all the chi, all the, so you become immovable like mountain. And if you're already weak in foundational level, then somebody poked you. So similarly, foundational principle of knowledge is humility. In Sanskrit, it's called amanitam. Amanitam adamvidvam ahimsa kshantiradhivam acharyopasanam shaucham shantiratmari indriyateshu vairagyam anahankara. So there's 18 or 19 items of knowledge, which we'll not discuss today, but one thing is very important, humility. Because knowledge flows down. Humility doesn't need to be like, oh yes, I'm humble. No, it's a question of attitude inside. I really, really want to know something. Please instruct me. Does it make sense? So I'm trying to set up the first scene before we even start to do something. Right? And I have with high respect to all of you. I'm not big super pooper teacher here. I came to share. But even sharing knowledge requires open-heartedness, because mind is like parachute, it's working and it's open. And I'm sure that everybody will get something from today's meeting, and I really want to learn from you and hear your realizations as well. Maybe briefly, but that's a mutual relationships of sharing knowledge. Tushyanti cha ramanti cha. This is the meaning of association. Tushyanti means satisfaction. Ramanti cha, enjoyment. We need some enjoyment of our soul, enjoyment of, we don't want boring, soft movie, In Russian we call mыльная opera. Means boring movie, You have seen something boring movie, It's going on some scene, serial, and it's happening everything in one room. Somebody is boring to watch. So our life supposed to be very, and we will start with this, and I will complete our introduction with a small story about Lord Buddha. Alright? Can you follow my English? My language is not natively English. Alright? Understandable? Understand?
Yes.
If you want to understand, you have to stand under. Understand, not upstand. That's the word, for example. Understand. That's why I'm standing. Not because just I'm feeling that I'm more superior or whatever. In fact, when we really have knowledge, as we say, trees, those who have fruits, really fruits, they're going down. The trees without fruits, they're standing like straight. Very difficult to reach their top. But those who really have knowledge, they're very humble. As I'm always saying, VIP, you have to be very VIP, very insignificant person. That's our definition of VIP, very insignificant. Because if you can understand how insignificant we are, we fly on the fly, nobody can be seen even. We're just tiny, insignificant. And somebody today sent me one presentation video about our planet Earth and the moon and sun and galaxy and multi-galaxy and clusters and maha-clusters, and our planet, our Earth doesn't exist even in this creation. It looks like. And here we are, super pooper people in this world, we're trying to understand absolute truth. So what we're going to discuss today is not about Buddhism, not about Christianity, nothing about, Hinduism, or whatever, any ism. We're going to discuss today about absolute truth. And if we are sincere and honest, we will accept it. Because 2 + 2 will be 4, not 5, not 4.5, not 3, it's 4, the actual. This is accepted by everyone. Whether China, America, Japan, Russia, doesn't matter. So in religion, or philosophy, theology, and even atheist people, those who don't believe anything, we're going to discuss such obvious things today, which intelligent man, sane man, he just cannot reject. He has to accept. As a woman cannot become half pregnant, as a man cannot become half dead. Similarly, truth cannot become half. Does it make sense? So we're going to speak about absolute truth. And of course, all humanity, all civilization were trying to perceive that knowledge. And with Helen Blavatsky in 1835, right? 1875, established this society of theology of society, I believe, in America and US, right? So they were in pursuit of the absolute truth about God, about all this mystical and very not ordinary events in this universe, in the creation, etc. And all Vedic literature, all Vedas, what I was studying in all these years, I was doing my PhD in this Vedas. And how to utilize this? Nice to have the head among the clouds, but we have to keep our legs on the ground. How to adopt that huge knowledge to such a simple-minded people like us. And we somehow dedicated our life a little bit in this direction, so we'll be able to share a few drops of wisdom we got with all of you. And the last, before I forget the story, which comes spontaneously, about Lord Buddha, since we touched his personality. Once, Lord Buddha, he was sitting under the tree. And while sitting meditating in nirvana, he was just completely absorbed. All of a sudden, one king came. Hey, monk, I have some question. Answer my question. And Lord Buddha, he just looked at him like this. And he said, I don't have time. What? Nothing to do. Sitting from morning to evening, doing nothing under the tree, and he doesn't have time. What do you mean you don't have time? And Buddha, Lord Buddha, he said, I don't have time for you. Otherwise I have time, but I don't have time for you. So king kind of became very humble. Well, what do you mean? Excuse me, can you elaborate? He said, see, Lord Buddha gave example of the glass. Every person is like a glass. Some people, they coming for asking for the milk, and they putting the glass upside down. From initially, they're putting, okay, give me milk. How I can give milk? You already put the glass upside down. There's no point to be wise where ignorance is bliss, or pride is bliss, etc. So therefore, this pride comes before fall. Therefore, no need to give this kind of milk of transcendental wisdom to glass which is upside down. Second glass, what Buddha said, it's like glass put properly, but it's glass full of holes. And if you can fill up this glass with the transcendental wisdom of milk, nectarian beverage, because of these holes, it will go out and nothing remains. So I waste my time and also do not get anything. Good. So these holes compared with doubts. Okay, maybe, I should really know, why not, and people actually, some Shayatma in Sanskrit itself, it's spoken in Sanskrit, that some Shayatma, Atma means soul, individual, some Shayatma, those who are doubtful, he will never be happy in this life, neither in the next life. Some Shayatma, he will be destroyed. So we have to believe something. We buy tickets for Canadian Airlines, we believe that our flight is going to be in time, and I have to wait for 29 hours to fly. But still, I believe. Right? I came 1 day late because of the cancel and no pilot and so many, but it's blindly belief. We're going to restaurant, we're going to buy some food. We're not going there with microscope. to check whether they put some poison there or not. Have you ever went with your family to a restaurant with microscope? No, we have to believe that this guy is not going to put poison there. When we read newspapers and we read, oh, in Nepal it was earthquake. Interesting. How do you know? Have you been in Nepal? No, but newspapers says you have to believe, etc., you know. So, and when we're talking about the supreme truth, why should I believe? Come on. That's different. I have special course, 7-day course, Science of Self-Realization. It's 7 days course actually. That's why I'm a little slow when you're trying to make a stretch. You should not just make it immediately because you can break the muscles or something in it. So very, very important to understand it. Search for happiness, we have one topic. Another one, science of Vedas. Why we have to accept Vedas? Total. Not just a little bit here, this, which sounds nice. Sanskrit sounds very nice, cute. Oh, cute, very nice. I brought for you scriptures which is hundreds and hundreds of years old. Right now in my bag. Hundreds of years. In Himalayas, one yogi view from cave. I'm sure, I'm not sure, let me not be too much over. I'm confident. But most of you never saw the scriptures like this. And the modern civilization, or I would say the leaders, they're trying to cover this knowledge from because it's very much easy to control foolish people. Because light is always, you can see the path where to go. Therefore, Vedas, we have to accept in total, we have to believe. And doubtful people like glass, they will not be able to make any progress because they will be ultimately bewildered. And third glass, Buddha said, people come in with a glass asking for the milk, but this glass filled with some garbage. Okay, put milk also. No, excuse me. We have to clean the glass. We have to clean it with detergent, whatever, with some powder. And then we can come neat and clean, transparent glass, put, and then we can get the milk. So there is some qualification. And Lord Buddha said, now, my dear king, please kindly get qualified. And later on, this king became disciples of Buddha, as we know, so many hunters, and decorers and some nice kings. So knowledge is for everyone the same, like rain giving water to the lake, Ontario, and to the desert, and to the beach road. It doesn't discriminate. So similarly, sunlight giving light to everyone, but it's up to us whether we're going to stay in the shadow or we're going to come to the sunlight. So that's a few words of preparation, introduction. So please kindly, everybody can make hard drive defragmentation or corrections, whatever you just, or maybe you're already in that position, so don't need to do anything, you're already. And I would like you to know a few seconds, briefly, you can introduce to each other, perhaps. Do you know each other also? Okay, very good. Next time, if you can kindly introduce so I can be a little bit more personal. Right? I don't want to be in the space. You can say your name, perhaps, well, you are from where you're from, and maybe what's your interest? Okay, let's say, what's your expectations? Can you kindly write down some expectations here? What are you expecting from today's meeting, really? It's not only this time pass, but if you can, because when you're coming to the doctor, for example, I'm not too much big doctor, but when you're coming and you'll say, well, I have some headache, I have a headache. And doctor say, fantastic, operation table just ready, come, open surgery brain, come. We go for brain surgery right away. Very dangerous doctor. At least he has to ask the question, what's the symptoms, how did you get it, what's manifestations, what is it, like that. So that's similarly, we here to solve all these problems in this world. It's complicated, confusing world, and we want to get out from, as they say in Sanskrit, samsara. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi jatani katari. And as Mother Teresa used to say, there is something more to life than simply increasing speed. Something more to life than simply iPhone, iTouch, iPod, iPad, and iPay, and we have to work.com. And then we have to worry.com. and then we have to whip.com. So that's why I really would like to hear just in one word, in 2 words, your expectations. What do you wish now? Alright? Можете представиться и рассказать, что было ожидали сегодняшней встречи? I was told that we have English-speaking friends.
Yes.
I can speak in Sanskrit or I can speak in Hindi. Just because we have, and we can, but since it's international language, we can speak in English. But universal language, Devanagari, universal language. It's tiny language of this insignificant planet. But universal language is Sanskrit. Sanskritam Bhakti. Sanskritam. This is Sanskrit, Devanagari. All the living entities in this universe are speaking in Sanskrit. But anyway, that's another thing. Alright? English is okay with everyone?
Yeah.
If any questions, you can ask me whatever good language you are with. You can try to adjust. I can clarify. We discussed here. Everybody follow English?
Yeah.
Okay. In Canada, it's supposed to. So, and then,
С корабля на бал сразу попали.
да, ну, me too, я тоже. С бедра. I didn't prepare for this class, and I was just, today actually I was just resting today. Because I had a very intense schedule for the last 1.5 months. Literally, I'm not going to sleep before 1, 2 o'clock at night. So it's because problems. But sometimes this body also needs some service, you know. Sometimes repairing required in garage. So it's nice mechanic who provided facilities for us so to repair ourselves. Alright, so we can introduce ourselves and you can speak your name and you can say what is your expectations. We just spoke. To be program nice, we have to know needs, interest, concern, and expectations of people. Just few words. I'm sure that you're not expecting too much or too much, but definitely you can maybe one word, maybe we can cover everything. But if in one word you can say expectations, and somebody can maybe write down. You have to write down. And you can see at the end whether we covered that or not. Alright? What is your name? You can introduce.
I'm Rachel Alana Davidasi. So my expectation is to get more knowledge that will deepen my spiritual experience, that will help me to progress further. And well, my goal is pure chanting of the holy name. And of course, getting closer to Krishna. So that's the reason why I'm coming.
Thank you. Deeper knowledge and
Spiritual.
deeper chanting of holy name, experience of holy name.
Get pure.
Pure.
Yeah,
Pure.
purification.
Who is pure here anyway? So, but we can try to come close. At least we'll try. Okay? Thank you. Raja, Lama.
Raja Lalana.
Very good.
Hare Krishna,
Very good.
my name is Yashoda Priya,
Mhm.
and my expectations is how to get balance in life,
Okay.
spiritually, socially, in everything. Just to get balance, how to improve relationships with devotees, Krishna,
Relationship.
and how to progress spiritually.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
My name is Arina,
Okay.
and my expectations are just what I want to get from this is just to gain some more knowledge, to become more open-minded, I guess, see the world from a different perspective.
Mhm. Okay, very good. See the world different perspective. Arina is a very nice name actually. Arina. You know, in Sanskrit, Aruna means sunrise. When sun rises, it's enlightenment. It's just, something coming up. Enlightenment. Light coming. Thank you. What is your name?
Hello everyone. My name is Jamila.
Say
So my name is Jamila.
Okay. Good.
So I came today. Oh well, I'm familiar with Vedic knowledge like
least I know maybe a couple % from it. I know it's a huge knowledge, but to me, it's just I always enjoy listening to it, first of all. And with every lecture, I just get little realizations all the time. So this is my purpose, to get more realization, to get more deeper understanding about Creator, Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Realization, deeper realization. Thank you. Thank you.
My name is Ilya.
Yeah?
My name is Ilya.
Ilya.
It's a Russian name.
Ilya. Okay. Oh, Russian guy. Okay.
Majority, yes. Russian speaking, yes.
Ilya Muravets, okay? Good.
So, expectation. So, from when I was born, I was surrounded by religions. Because I'm from Iran, I know about Islam, I came here. I know stuff about Christianity. I know stuff about other religions, and I just want to know more about the religion that you have.
Very good. Thank you. Super. More about, we'll talk about that. It's not we're not going to speak about religion. It's not religion. It's very, very important. It's science. Religion can be changed from Muslim to Christian, but principle can never be changed. That's what we're going to discuss. And that's very, very nice, really. Perspective.
Hi everyone, my name is Roman, and
Again, can you speak
Roman, yeah. And I'm a yoga teacher, also I'm a massage therapist, and I guess I'm also on my way to spirituality. And of course, when I was getting my certification in yoga, we studied some religion, but I would like to deepen it, and especially I would like to know how to battle the stress in everyday life. Because I see so many patients and customers and both of my jobs who are stressed and they have anxiety and they see me as a doctor, as a yoga teacher or massage therapist, and ask me a lot of questions about diet and how to battle stress, how to get rid of depression, anxieties and stuff like that. So I would like to become more professional, from your point of view. Maybe you can share some experience from
From the universal point of view. I'm just a courier. I'm just courier, transmitting the information. That's all. I haven't been, Oh, you also have quite a long one.
Thank you so much. How to be more happy every day.
Thank you.
My name is Cyrus.
Cyrus.
Yes. I just come out of curiosity, and my wife told me to get out of the house. I'm always interested to listen to different teachers to see with all their chatter and play words that they bang around like cue balls on a billiards table, if there's ever an ounce of even real teaching. And generally I come to see if I ever get surprised. Generally not. So that's my aim, is more enjoyment and to see what's what. And see if the teacher has real knowledge or not.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Very, very nice. I really respect. It's just like professional people, even in this world, it reminds me when you cook, professional cook, and you have so many preparations and you're invited for the dinner or some party. And you come in so many preparations in the party, and everybody trying to eat as much as they could. But those really, we call them Russian gourmand. Gourmand, those who really know the value of the food, or who is a cook. I don't eat everything, Look at that one. It's interesting, that one. Good one. So this is very, very, very nice, delightful people. Those who are expert, they can see you're a very expert person in the different branches of science and knowledge. Thank you so much. Simon.
My name is Sue. The question is, what is our true purpose of existence?
Okay.
And how does the limits of karma affect our human behavior on a day-to-day?
Okay. How to eliminate karma?
The limit, karma creates limits, right?
Right.
What is the destiny of attaining liberation of the soul? Because this is the only opportunity to attain liberation.
Say again your name, please.
My name is Sue.
Sue. Yeah. Very nice. Sue. Super. In Sanskrit, actually, this Su, Kamkatumaya, and Su means it's like, abridged version of anything. It's not normal, not average. It's just super. Interesting.
My name is Nikolai.
Okay.
My expectation is I like to see new way, knowledge of truth, which united people.
Mm-hmm.
It's like many kind of people have a religion. It's how you can open for us that your way can unite people who have different religions, different kind of.
It's wonderful.
Many kind of truth, but truth is the same. How to you can show us how to unite us.
Actually, it was the meaning of the presentation. Formula of peace, secret of love. But that's actually exactly what we're going to unite everyone as one. Recently, I was giving TED show talk about a similar topic. They requested me to speak about how to unite, how to make peace in this society, in this world. Very good. Thank you very much. Nikolai, right?
My name is Igor. I started to learn Vedic knowledge 7 years ago, 6 years ago, and I go deeper in that subject. And now I know more about Krishna, about devotees, and I came to meet a devotee, which is not happening often here. And I would like to maybe get a piece of your interest, a piece of your enlightenment with Hare Krishna knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. Yeah. I am also here.
Yes, thanks. Easy to remember.
Hi, my name is Anna. I'm 8 years of life, and I'm just here. It's always a pleasure to meet a devotee, and it's never insignificant in our life, in my life, and I'm grateful that you come from so far away, and I'm here just to get a sparkle of inspiration from you.
Okay, inspiration. I hope I'll get inspiration from all of you also. I'm actually speaking seriously. I'm just feeling like, ooh, what a wonderful potential here. You know? I'm definitely convinced that it's not enough 1 hour lecture or whatever. It's not definitely enough. It's such a big vessel you have. You can pour there and pour, and there's nothing enough. But you'll try to figure out at least. Thank you.
Hello everyone. My name is Lena, and I actually came here to get your spiritual wisdom and improve my belief. Like I need to make my belief stronger.
Faith. Very nice. Faith is like, depends on your faith. Shraddha, Maya Purusha. This one Shastra says, Shraddha Anusari Bhakti Adhikari. Shraddha in Sanskrit for faith in Shraddha. And this is the root of anything. Whatever you believe, where attention goes, energy flows. Right? So people believe in something, and they completely dedicating their life for that. To writing PhD about the whatever, some insects copulation, you know, this way. And they dedicating all their own photosynthesis in the grass, and they're writing the books all life about the grass, because they believe that by doing that, my human life will be successful. So there's different kinds of faith also. Again, very difficult. You can see the 17th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, also the 14th chapter. There's different kind of faith in passion and ignorance and goodness. But you touch this point, it's very important. In fact, this is foundational point. If you don't have faith, I mean, at least in the teacher. That's why it depends on the container. If you have faith, we will be able to get that inspiration. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Good afternoon, my name is Tamara. I don't speak very well, sorry. I'm from girl, looking for a sense of life.
Okay.
And study, but until now, I know I didn't know nothing.
Oh, yeah.
But still, I'm looking for sense of life, of this earth.
Sense of love or sense of life?
Life.
Okay. Very good.
Да, как бы смысл нашей жизни. Я его ищу, как мне было 19 лет.
Purpose of life.
Своей подружки. Ну, будем...
Aim of life.
Да.
Aim of life.
Как бы цель.
Aim of life. Цель жизни.
Цель, да.
Для чего здесь?
Да.
Чем лучше сделать?
Только как бы изучается, но до сих пор я ищу ответа.
I'm searching for the purpose of life. I'm searching, looking, studying, but as they say in Hindi, so I just don't know the answer. Super question. Actually, expectations.
И больше учу, больше я знаю, что ничего не знаю.
More I'm studying, more I understand that I don't know anything. Frustrating, huh? It's what
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Purpose of life. That's what ABCD is about, no? Tamara.
Hi everyone, Krishna, my name is Lena. And
Two Lenas, huh? Okay.
I try to do not have any expectation. I just want to feel this moment because I had this opportunity to feel this atmosphere, so I'm here and I'm glad. Thank you.
All right, it's also good. Just relax. And to be today, right now, and here, and just for you. It's called Power of Now. Once I was giving seminar, Power of Now. Because most of the people, we are somewhere there. Oh, how nice was during the Brezhnev time. It was, chocolate butter in the shops, and we're dreaming in future, oh, what will happen if only my visa will expire, if I'll not get citizenship, if I'll be fired from my job, worry.com. And we just dreaming in the past or expecting some future, but we are not there, not here. When we were small, we are so much anxious to become grown up. When, if only, behind the corner, if only. But when we became grown up, how nice it was in childhood. We are living as we are not going to die ever, as if we are not going to die. And when we are dying, most of the people dying as if they were never lived. You got the point? Okay. So, very wonderful points, really. And I definitely will touch each one of all of them, which is on itself, it's one deep seminar. And I'm sure in my principle of life, my principle, if I'm making in contact with some people and both parties willing, those who are making 7 steps together, we are friends for the rest of our life. And I hope and believe it's not our last meeting. If not here, then somewhere in India. Maybe I can hijack you to Nepal. Sometimes you are most welcome. Because if we decide, who can stop us? If we decide, anyone, if any group of people decide something, who can stop them if we decide it? Because nowadays, all the world is in the hands of Pura Dunya Mukti, mobile telephone, WhatsApp, everything. Any questions they can keep. And I'm very glad to satisfy you in your expectations. Okay, we got it, and time is running. It's said, Ayushak Kshano Ekupina Labdya Sona Koti Bir. 1 second of time, we cannot buy by thousands and thousands of golden coins. 1 second gone, it's gone. It will never ever in history. Even Mr. Trump will not be able to buy it by selling all America. Time and tide waiting for now. And I'm aware of the timing, we have less and less, but what we'll do small preparation. I'll tell you what is this. One time I started to chant the mantras. Mind has to be prepared. And if it's ready, it takes only 1 second to receive the knowledge. Transmission, press the button, and there's enough space in another mobile, if this hard drive is not full. If you have a little bit megabytes on your phone, I can send you a photo, it's only 1 second to receive it. Do you think we are less powerful than mobile? So knowledge transmission actually is not very difficult. Information, no transformation is another thing. But knowledge, when our mind is ready, it will be very receptive, like fertile. So similarly, when people getting baby, right? So woman has to be in the proper state of condition and this timing. So similarly, when our mind is ready and teacher somewhat authorized, and he giving authorized knowledge, enlightenment takes place, even without your understanding. It comes from the heart. So to do that, we get a few minutes only chanting mantra. It's nothing. Nobody should be obliged to do that if you don't like whatever. But mantra means manasa trayati mantra. Manasa trayati mantra. Mind is mind. Trayati feels like we're putting boom. Like Buddhists, they chanting Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Mani Mani Om. They chant a different mantra. There's unlimited mantras, but there is Maha mantra. You may or may not believe it, but please trust me, I'm not cheating you. I can tell you tons of stories when there's all kind of extra sense, whatever. Some mystical people with some frame, iron frame, they check it from coming. They were checking us, this, how it works. One guy came, it was in 1990, I believe. It was Yuri Sukharukov, his name was. He came in Bravary near the Kiev, and they called us. He called that time 500 specialists on Reiki. You know Reiki? These guys, you see the aura and stuff. 500 people. That time was very new, very, very new. And they said, okay, can you chant your mantras? Because it's an entertainment, they call us. He's our friend. All right. And we came, 5 of us. We came, it's a real story. And they were doing competitions. They were trying to do some energy, some, And one lady, she was sitting in some ramka, what do you call it, frame, whatever, she's a device. And she was checking each and every one. And anyone who come out to the stage, because they're curing people, see. And this frame was moving like this. You can see clearly, it's moving. And she was, after that, she used to stand up. Ladies and gentlemen, energy is 20 meters radius. So 20 meters there point, means like that. And everybody tried. And then another guy used to come and give me again energy. And again it was moving with more wide and far. 30 meters energy. In this way, I was sitting on the back and was watching what's going on. And then they called us. Okay, my dear friends, Yuri Sukharukov, because we have friends, they're following very ancient Indian philosophy and they're chanting mantras. So we invited them, because now lunchtime, 10 minutes before, is good for health. So it was, whatever. We came and we didn't have even instruments, nothing. We just had something very, very primitive. And we started to chant this Maha mantra. And I was a little scared because 500 people sitting in front of you and it's all light on you. And when we were chanting, this lady, she was sitting in front, she also took the device, which she already packed. She was thinking, these kind of people. Right. She already prepared for the lunch, she packed everything. But when she saw when we were chanting, she took out the device and put it in front of us. Let me check, it's called in Sanskrit, Atmavan Manyati Jagat. To see world not as it is, but as we are. Through the angle of our consciousness, like you're putting red glasses, blue glasses, yellow, and you can see all world like yellow. So it depends on the quality you have here. So she was always seeing everything through the eyes of energy. And if you have big energy, wow, you are super. And if you have something else, no, not super. If you are super cook, it's not authorized for me, energy. She put the frame, and when we chanted, I saw this frame, literally. I was thinking, far out. And I was thinking, oh, we were chanting even more. And this lady was shaking hands, she stood up, raise your hands. Energy to the Vladivostok. And then these people, and I saw all, after a few minutes, all the whole cinema hall it was, everybody started to stand up and put their hands toward us. Like, warming up. And I was thinking, wow, it was my first experience with the holy name chanting. So I wanted to deepen the experience. That was my experience. And I was thinking, something going on here, so maybe we have to stop. And everybody, coming to us like this. And we stopped. And when we stopped, all people came and surrounded us. They surrounded us. What was that? Because everybody's like Raikin used to say. Someone can see something. What was that? Golden energy goes to the sky, golden. And some 2 meter people were dancing behind you people. What was that? And I didn't see anything. Really. But this guys happened to see. And they said, oh, we want this. We want to know what is this. And believe me or not, what they're chanting is not something concocted by me or somebody else, neither like all these mantras or prayers in Christianity. It's called parampara. It was given to us by previous saintly people, those who get that experience. The only question is that would we like to enter that experience? When I'm hungry, we went yesterday to the market and we had to buy some flowers. It's not Canadian flowers. Or we bought some, whatever, some sugar or apple. Apple is apple. It's just not Hindi, Muslim, Christian. Apple means apple. Sugar is not Christian sugar or Muslim sugar or Indian sugar. Sugar is sugar. So that's essentially that feeling of love, feeling of enlightenment is not kind of particular monopoly of any sect or any level of this universe. It's for everyone, like oxygen. Right? Nobody charging money from me in Canada for breathing. So similarly, we'll do now a few minutes this mantra to prepare our mind. And then I'll just put people one by one. Till what time we have time? Till 8, do we have time to count 8:30? 40 minutes, 45 minutes. Okay, 8:30. And then we can have question and answers if you feel that. Right? Okay, let's do it. And you can also clap. When we clapping, it's also, I was studying Ayurveda. I was in South India in Kannur. I have a very nice friend, Kaviraj. Kannur, it's, many Ayurvedic doctors. Ayur means age. Our life force, Ayu. And Veda means knowledge. Knowledge about longevity. How to live long. You may or may not believe it. That's another topic which I don't want to touch. I have seen yogis, they're living for a couple of hundreds of years. Oh no, how is it possible? No, in Canada it's not possible. With this lifestyle we are living. But there is possible. Capacity of this human body. You know how long? It's not to discourage you, I'll not tell you. So this is really potential machine. But unfortunately we are butchering this machine in the so-called modern lifestyle. But when we're preparing ourselves, we every morning, if you can just simply, it's called disk defragmentation, we are renewing our computer. You can become peaceful. Every day you can restart your new day with fresh drive. That's mantra. Mantra means making our mind pure and clean. As any prayer actually. But this mantra is called Maha Mantra. It's most powerful mantra in all the Vedas. This mantra. All negative influence of this age can be neutralized like antivirus by this mantra. Kalmasha means very bad influence, lust, greed, anger, which is we have to fight with any religion, right? In any person in this world. Okay? I will send this mantra in Sanskrit, and then it's simple. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This genuine cry for the help. Krishna means attractive, karshati, from the root of Sanskrit dhatu. Karshati, Krishna, karshati, attract. It's so attractive. God is so attractive. It's super attractive. Krishna, most attractive. When I saw Krishna's photo, I was like, in flowers. It's such a cute boy. And I said, wow, he looks like girl. And then somebody told me, no, it's not he looks like girl. Girl looks like him. Everything beautiful in this world is nothing but spark from his beauty. Everything most beautiful thing in this creation is nothing but small spark from his beauty. Krishna, Rama, Ramanti Yogina Ananti, happiness, enjoyment, satisfaction. Ramanti means to enjoy. That's the name of God who gives enjoyment to everyone. Right? And we have to be grateful. If you're not grateful, you're great fool. Make sense? If you're not grateful, you're great fool. Elementary, even oxygen. No need to become religious yogi or anyone, priest or rabbi, to breathe the air. It's for everyone. But if you're not grateful for that, for the glass of water you're drinking, which provided for us by somebody. We have to, and to express this gratitude, we're praying, and mantra is not, it's offering prayers and gratitude. And Hare means spiritual energy. There are 3 energies in this world, Parashakti, Aparashakti, and Tatastha. So there's a spiritual, material, and marginal in between. Okay, so I'll just chant, and you can also clap. When you're clapping, my Ayurvedic doctor told me, when you're clapping, and the word WHO organization, I was mentioning yesterday in our meeting, WHO organization, World Health Organization, they came to the conclusion that one of the best exercises could be clapping, as trivial as it may be, but when you're clapping, the heart, liver, kidney, everything is here. Really. If you have some pain somewhere, I can tell you the point where you can make massage. Let's also point it, shift like this. We can cure diseases even. Who knows about that? That's why in Russian language they say, прости, они не ведают, что творят. They don't know what they're doing. Father, forgive them. They just don't know. In Russian we also call knowledge is the light. Знание свет, а незнание чуть света на работу. And there is no knowledge how to work very hard. So, Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavari Paschatya Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunatu Saha Viryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vidvishavahe Om Shanti 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 Om Purnamadam Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Мы начнем с первого вопроса сразу, по существу. Даже лайв появился. It became, sorry, I'm in Russian mode, yeah? So it's little bit energy became less condensed. Sometimes I feel the environment also. So knowledge. We can just speak about what is knowledge. Knowledge, I'll just boom by points and then we can have over. Right? I will not open any discussion now. I'll just simply cover all the topics. Knowledge means understanding between spirit and matter. Knowledge is the understanding between the difference. What is the matter? What is the spirit? That's called knowledge. And for that, of course, there's some qualities in Bhagavad Gita, ancient scripture, spoken by Lord Shri Krishna 5,000 years ago. He defines the knowledge in 13th chapter, text number 8 to 12. You can make notes, those who are interested, and you can do homework. It's really very precise what is real knowledge. Beginning was humility, as I told you, pridelessness, humility, right? Ahimsa, non-violence, acharya upasanam shaucham, upasanam. Asana means place. Acharya means a guru. You have to approach guru and sit down. Upanishad, upanishad, ni means niche, down. Because you have to sit down and approach the Guru. This is also knowledge. To understand that I am fool, number one. Once Guru, one teacher told all disciples, you are all fools. And everybody became. So one disciple said, well, I'm fool actually, teacher. He said, no, except you, everybody fools. You're not fool. Because to understand that I'm fool, it requires intelligence. That's why you're very intelligent. True. So this is a knowledge which consists of all these qualities, principles, and freedom from false ego. False ego is thinking about who am I. Identification, identity crisis. Okay, this is knowledge. If I'll ask you, may I ask you, anyone? May I ask you? Who are you? Give your identification. You introduce yourself.
I like to think that I'm more one soul.
Okay. What does it mean to you? Like, for example, I heard already. I got this, simple question. Okay. Can I ask you, for example, it's true. Answer is correct. Now we have to reply practically. If I'll ask you, most of the people they're giving, when we introduce ourselves, of course, in this world we introduce ourselves as a Raman, as a Nikolai, as a Igor, whatever. It's our designation, Upadi. But actually who we are. If I'll ask you, what is this? Okay. It's my hand, right? Please forgive me to be too trivial and just simple, but it's very, very important to understand. Then if you can put 2 plus 2, you wrote 5. Even you do some cosine sinus, root out of -1, whatever super pooper you can make, balance will be incorrect because beginning is wrong. So when we're discussing the principle, who am I? And we actually agree, we are unanimously agree, yes, this is our basics. Then we can talk in that area. Because why people they don't want to enter the Vedas? Because there is the basic foundational principle that this is my hand, right? You're right. This is my leg, my nose, my ear, my head, my body, every body. Who am I? Human body. Getting the point? When boy and girl meeting together, Romeo and Juliet, right? I love you. Isn't it? They say, I love you. He never says, I love you, I love you. Maybe after 1 year, 2 years of marriage, maybe, oh my God, I love you. Could be, but I don't know. But usually in the beginning, who are you? I am. Isn't it? Yeah. Who are you? I am, I am. So, because we are intuitively, we're just thinking, I'm inside. And when that body, it's just like that, somebody dying, on accident, or something happened, Miss Universe, super attractive man or woman, but dead. Oh, you left me, you leave me. What do? He's lying down. Keep him in the fridge, keep him in the home. Why people they burying him in the ground or funeral in fire, etc. What makes a difference between spirit and matter? The body, which is jumping, athletic body, jumping 5 feet with a stick, whatever, so light when it's alive. And it requires so many people to carry it when it's there. What makes the difference? What makes the difference when we're alive, people usually take baths and then touching each other. But when you're dead, when you're touching, you have to take baths after that. Drastic change. What is that? What is that missing link? Of course, that's knowledge. I won't go deeper. It's a separate topic about that. Who am I? We have all day 3-hour seminar. This presentation, multimedia, past life memory, near-death experience, Mr. Modi, Mr. Pasriche. I have my friend in Mumbai. Deepak Kataria, his name. He remembers his past life. He was in one of the states of India, Rajasthan. He was man. He had several sons. And when we're giving the seminars, we're inviting him to the class sometimes. So he can personally speak, so other people won't believe. When he was a small boy, he started to speak different language. of different state of India. And then Mr. Modi from US, he wrote the book Life After Death. Check my Google if you just don't trust me. So he wrote the 3,000 cases. So he found this case and he flew to Mumbai and he said, okay, let's take this boy in that place he's talking about. But we'll not take it, tell it to him. We'll take him to the train and we'll tell him that we are taking him to Delhi. Like that. We'll be going to some, hospital in Delhi. Okay, they put him there, but train was going to that place, I believe Rajasthan, to that place. And when they were going there, just few stations before, oh, everybody get ready, we're going to now, this moment, we're going to step out to the train. Boy said, all crew came, parents became shocked. And then, sure enough, in the station, he went out from the train and he was walking as if he knows where he's going. And then it was on the bridge in that village, it was on a rickshawala and bicycle people, some old guy was sitting there. And this boy was walking, hey Ram, how are you? How is everything? This rickshawala, he was saying, what? How does he know me? And he was walking like as if yesterday he left his village. Then he came to his home, it was like big wall. He said, hey, supposed to be door here. What's that? And it was not there, it was different side. But then when they removed some grass, it was really, they fill it with bricks. And then he went to the son, I'm just briefly telling you. And then his grown-up son, and he came, hey Peter, my son! This man was shocked, excuse me, what is that? Maybe some trap, some mafia came in, just, who knows, some scheme. I'm your father! Cute situation, And well, and because it's official scientific research group came, everybody that's what they say. Let's check it out. And the son said, okay, if you are my father, you're supposed to know where we are hiding the rifle. They used to hunt it together. Only me and my father knew where we are hiding the rifle. And sure, he went immediately to the bedroom behind the big cupboard. He took the rifle. This son was shocked. Papa. Not only that, it was huge painting in the wall. And this boy said, oh, I know more. Remove this painting, this door. The little son didn't know that. Old ancient painting. And it was door there. And he knew where to get the key, open the door, and inside was like fan from English time, 100 years old fan, which was working on kerosene. Nobody knew how to start it. This boy started. Boom. Started. Well, it's just one small drop of evidences about the past life memory, near-death experience, ND, OB, out-of-body experience, etc. So if you're interested in these things, most welcome, we can guide you in future coming years. That's knowledge. If I am this body, and everything, whatever I do, including massage therapy, so only for this body, that makes sense. I can make all my life around this. Why I'm making these big skyscrapers, and I'm making these big mansions and houses, and working for my family as if I'm going to live here forever. That's what makes sense. But if I'm not this body, and this, in Hindi they say, "Aaya hai so jayega rajaran fakir, jo sinhasan sansare bandi jan zanjir." Aaya hai so jayega, जीवन to sukha dukha mila, सबको जाना पड़ेगा अकेला. And when we come into this room and you request me, can you invest millions of dollars to repair this room? Excuse me, sir. I'm here for 1 hour only. And I know very well I'm going to get out from here. Why I have to invest all my life savings in this room? So similarly, if we look at life from that perspective, we can live healthy life, we can invest in life, we can express everything, but with keeping in mind one thought, I'm not this body. And that's the beginning of spiritual understanding. Just beginning. Then what to do after that? One man came to me and asked me, well, tell me something about spirituality. I said, who are you? How old are you? He said, 52 years old. And I asked him, where have you been 53 years before? By chance, I want to ask, how old are you?
41.
Where have you been 43 years ago?
I don't know.
But does that mean that nobody knows?
Probably no. Yeah.
Yes. So there is so many things. I was studying, I really don't want to take the topic very far, but I was studying with yogis and astrologers. It's called Shastri. To some of you, it doesn't say anything, but they can tell you who you were in previous life. They can tell you what's going to happen to you tomorrow. No, come on. I am the master of my life. I can do whatever I like. You can, we have options, of course. But we are ruled by certain constellations and stars and karma, which we're going to discuss soon. We can answer the question how to, when according to karma, you have to bounce against the wall in accident. How do you avoid that? One astrologer, he taught me how to see the hands. He made many 85 predictions he did, global predictions. Even one didn't fail. Prime ministers of countries used to come to consult with him. That person personally taught me. He's old. He actually left the body last year. He died, 82 years old. But you'll be surprised to know anything lost. Like you lost computer, somebody came, lost $5,000. I am calling to him, said, can you kindly tell me where is it? They okay, no problem. You go there, east, north, 200 meters, one building, second floor. Wow. And we went and it's true, we found it. And $5,000 people will bring to you by evening time. It's called prashana in astrology. It's also small part of the Vedas. So don't think to be surprised. But if you're thinking you have this body, and you can do whatever you want, whatever I want, whatever I want, whenever I want, then there is law of reaction also. It's called karma. But there is also few things which we have to know, this whole knowledge. See? 5 things that you can make. If you really want to get knowledge, you have to know, you have to understand 5 things. Who am I? Who is God? What is this creation? Prakriti is called, nature. What is this? Who created that? If any creation must be creator. If I have this watch, must be some company. And as you can guess, must be some manager of that company. Computer Mac, or whatever, is Steve Jobs, who found that company, right? Or Bill Gates. If there is some intelligence, must be some intelligent source of that. Makes sense, right? So similarly, every creation, we can request Mr. Steve Jobs, can you make this computer which I can put grass inside, press the button, and milk and butter will come from the other side. Why not? This computer, cut the grass, put inside the computer, fresh milk coming out and you can drink it. No, it's impossible. Well, but who is that engineer of the computer company who made a computer called cow? Taking grass, producing wonderful milk. So much so that even urine and cow dung is so pure, it's considered antiseptic by modern science. Very pure, Who is an engineer? Who is engineer who can put such a zip file and put in the ground and make such a huge tree or small mosquito, which is like pilot and helicopter 2 in 1. And not even diesel. Become so many diesel pump stations. Come, recharge and go fly. To make one Boeing 777, so many personnel requires to service, put diesel and pilot. And who created that computer which is flying birds? So that's actually subject matter to think. Who is God? Who is creator? Me, God, but who is Prakriti? What is creation? I have to have full information about the creation. Fourth one is karma, activity. What is righteous action? What is unrighteous action, prohibited action, and what is inaction? When you're going in the mind bomb, field, then you have to be mad, You know where not to start. But if you in army, we used to have mine detector, huge earphones, big stick, and frame. If there is some iron on ground, it will produce sounds. We have to come out and undetect it. But if we are trying to become I'm joking, as a Chinese bomb detector. Chinese bomb detector? So it shouldn't be explained also. Experience is the best teacher, but only fools learning by no other way. Experience is the best teacher, of course, but only fools. Therefore, we have GPS. GPS, when you drive it, put address, and that's guiding you already. So similarly, the way scriptures, they are GPS, Guru Parampara system. This is GPS. They're guiding us. And they're proven by time, there is no flaw. It's very, so we have to believe the Vedas. And therefore, what is karma and what is time? If you understand these 5 things, who am I, who is God, what is karma, what is prakriti, creation, and what is time? These 5 things called knowledge. With respect of understanding what is spirit, what is nothing. And if I am the soul, who am I? What kind of soul? What is that? What is this guy doing? And then when I'm going out from this body, then what? If you will die, where are you going? I'm going to airport, but I'm confident because I already booked a ticket. Right? Can you imagine? We're going to airport together. I'm flying to Los Angeles. I just came. I didn't buy the ticket. I'm sorry, you just cannot go. To come to Canada, I had to make a visa. Without visa, such a strict checking, double checking. I was thinking, my God, in small country to enter, you have to have so much checking. Do you think to go there, even to the higher planetary systems, which are 14, there are 7 planetary systems, it's about creation. Do we talk about the creation in Bible, Quran? Do we? Was mentioned. Heaven is there, but any detailed information about the creation of the universe? Would you like to introduce you ancient wisdom? I don't read it, just to make you a little bit glimpse. If you're in WhatsApp, I can send you some message about the angle of vision of the Vedas about this universe. And from time, beginning from Nimesha, 1/11th of the second, to the Kalpa, which is billions and billions of years. But if you want, we can put it on car parking. If you're interested, I can show the broad eye view picture about the prakriti, about the creation. Then, who am I? Also is science. Then I'm saying, then also karma, nishram, karma. These all terms are there. And then, if you travel here, cars moving on the right side, right? But in India, on the left side. I'm Indian now, actually, by passport. So I don't care. I came from India. I'll drive left side. Excuse me, sir. You came to this place. You have to follow these rules. And ignorance is not excuse. I didn't know. It's your problem. Make sense? Yeah.
Ramakrishna says the Vedas without spiritual enlightenment or experience are no better than straw.
Exactly.
And thus those that learn it without true experience only build pride and egotism.
Completely. This how you spoke?
So what's the point until you awaken to a certain degree of even discussing it?
Well, we sowing seeds, as Jesus said, whether sprout or not depends on the soil. I'm doing my duty, and we have to do our duty. And I'm giving you just, believe me, I'm giving just touch. For example, give me one back. This is the very scripture that, but meanwhile, I'm talking to you since you spoke about knowledge. My friend, professor, requested me to bring it to Los Angeles University. So this is a scripture, just to show you. This is made out of, I will send you can check it out. In palm leaves. Before, the students, they used to get this information with needle. They were like hundreds of years old. It's very, very ancient, and one from the cave. It's just not available everywhere. Okay, so this is I can just send you can just check it out. So this knowledge, what I'm talking about, first we have to have, what do you call it? There's 4 stages basically. Form, storm, reform, perform. Okay, without given information and direction, if you don't know where I'm swimming, no wind will be favorable for us. You can never discover new land unless you're willing to give up the sight of seashore. And another one I like. Ship is very safe in a harbor, but it's not what it's made for. If you're comfortable in your zone where you are done. You have done. You have put limits for yourself. Any one of us. So that's why mind is like parachute when it's working when it's open. What we do today, I'm giving you direction. This direction is going Vedas. You see, A, B, C, D, A. And it's not my opinion. To get realization, there is 8-step process. Ato Shraddha, Tata, Sattvaga, Vajana, Kriya, Nivrittisya. First faith, then Vajana, then association, and then purification, Vajana Kriya. And then when you start the process, Anartha Nivritti, all unwanted things start to come out. And that's how experience. You may or may not understand what I'm talking about here, but please believe me, I didn't come here to cheat you and get a few dollars donations from you at all. I just spoke in Ukraine, they changed the president, whatever. I spoke with one mayor of the city. He called me to his villa, he was very curious. I want to know where to guide the country, which direction to go. I spoke to this mayor of one of the cities. We went to his villa, the Patri. He took me, okay, please, I really want to have private because I cannot do it in public lecture, you know. Okay. He had the motorboard, and I said, okay, it's okay, we have a fun time together. But then we were sitting together, no one was there. And I looked at his eyes and said to him, who are you thinking you are? Who are you? Nobody in his life told him this. And I said, nobody dares to say this thing. But I was thinking, I did come to Kalinadana, India, nothing to take with you. You called me, I didn't call you, you called me, so you want some knowledge. Who are you? And I explained him all the picture. Now we are very close friends, we are just chatting and asking these questions behind the I have the situation, can you guide me, what should I do? What should I do? Before, every king he had some counselor, some saintly person like Valkhavir, Brahmanas, whatever, the counseling team. Those who don't want any profit, they are sages, those sitting in the forest, Chanakya Pandit, whatever, and they give me advice you go. So that's why this is knowledge, you can just, you're true, so true.
But why show that? That's just piece of paper with
Correct.
words.
But I am telling you that this is only bring information, that it's not what I'm speaking, it's not out of me coming. It's like, it's disciplic succession of the sages.
But it's your expression.
Correct. And expression means based on my realization.
So show me your realization.
Yes, I'm trying to do that. We can
Now
feel it.
you're giving me words in a flapping tongue.
Okay.
What show me?
Realization manifests in which way?
Show it. You're just show
Okay.
it. If you have no bald head, no robe,
No,
who are you?
I even
Your
asked him,
bald head.
should I come in civil dress or should I come like that? He told me, okay, you can come like that.
Yeah, but this way can samskara and the sana of people, and we say, oh, he must have knowledge because he has a bald head, he has a little marks, he has this.
That's why in spiritual life, we have to see not through the eyes, through the ears. You never know a man until he speaks. You know, that's
I don't agree. It's action more than talk.
Correct. Therefore, in our case, my life is my lecture. I didn't introduce me from zero to hero, which I'm not at all. But when you see our life, even Jesus Christ, first they'll criticize you, then they'll listen to you, and then they will worship you. But it takes a long time.
So you want to be worshipped?
I don't want.
But you just said
I don't want.
You just said
I'm saying the principle which Jesus Christ said. You listen carefully, please. And that's why he said, and it's nice if they worship you in this life if you want so, but same people, they don't want to be worshipped. And Jesus Christ was on the cross, so forgive them, Father. Everybody worshiping him. Right? This portrait is nothing but worshiping. We are respecting. Worshiping is another word, is respecting. Respect. You know? So anyway, real person, he will never take the credit because he knows to whom it belongs. Real saintly person. And real realization comes in the change. You can see the life. It's nice to have the head among the clouds, but you keep your head on the ground. And one of the realization is style, no? Your name. How many people you can change in life by coming in contact with? Does that make sense? Whether you're a magnet or you're a piece of iron, whether you're a magnet or you're a piece of iron, it can be understood in action. So what is the criteria of realization for you? Can you express?
I'm sorry?
What is the criteria of realization? Just show me. By which symptoms you can understand a person has a realization? By which criteria? He's flying under the ground, or he is just speaking some 10,000 languages, or he looks like some aura or something. What is the criteria for you? What is realization?
Just silence.
Okay, that's also could be.
Silence and humility, but silence mainly.
Mhm.
That's why most teachers, they just gab and gab, dance around. Your teaching is all vikalpa, very little pramana. Or jump here, jump there, jump there, jump there. Very entertaining, but not go to shriti, deeper. Can you do that?
How do you feel if I come here?
I'm just curious.
Very nice. But honestly, answer this question. How would you feel if I come here, sit on the table, and for 2 hours be silent? You'll be, well, I think it's supposed to be natural.
If you can share that silence, that would be
Sure.
perfect. It's just like, I don't know if you ever heard of, he's been dead a long time, Dr. Paul Brunton.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was a very intelligent man, traveled all over, very spiritual.
Mhm.
Many, many questions. Then he heard about an enlightened being in South India called Sri Ramana Maharishi. So he found out where his ashram was in Trivandrum, and he went and he wanted to ask all these questions. When he got there, he saw this old man just sitting like this. So he sat down and he was trying to wait when is a good time to ask the questions. Then he felt this peace. And then he saw all his questions disappear and he entered into a deeper peace within himself. And then he knew what he wanted to know.
Well, some people want to know how to drive a car.
But this we're talking spirituality and the who am I, Atma Vichara. He wanted to go inward to understand. And so he did, because of Sri Ramana Maharishi, his power radiated. He didn't have to speak, never wrote a book, but he had power. Same with Ramakrishna. Ramakrishna taught, but then he would touch somebody and they'd have their experience and then they would know.
Electrical shock, huh? I give you all energy, now I don't have anything. This is not our process. Process of understanding supreme truth according to Vedas, which is 5,000 years ago, and the greatest sages of wisdom, they transfer this way, that way, Parampara is called, right? And it's called Shabda Praman. You are completely right. If you can come to our monastery, or anyway, come tomorrow morning. You can
I was in Nepal last year.
Okay, no, I
It was
don't
very
know.
nice.
Very good. So, but point is that silence also the way of transformation can be done. But as I told you, real realization can be seen how a person can change the life of other people to the positive. How to turn them. It said it's never late to take a U-turn, however long you're traveling in the wrong direction. So the person who come in contact with, how many people we can change those who came in contact with? We have a person, Srila Prabhupada, our spiritual master. He came along here with 40 rupees in his pocket in 1975. Correct. And he was alone, he was sitting under the tree.
I know his story.
Correct. And he changed, even including me. I never met him. Complete silence. And he, on distance, he changed my life. Like that. I finished my 2 universities with excellency, and I didn't consider myself foolish. But when I was thinking like you, show me. I was thinking like that. Believe me, I was army officer, very proud of top university of Russia, Commando University, Moscow, Lomonosov University, philosophy department. I did everything. But and I was studying Buddhism, I was studying Chinese, and I was studying Christianity, everything. St. Francis. Nothing could surprise me. But somehow, I changed myself.
Did you really change, or just old vasana from past life, waking up and the ahankara attached to the vasana, poof, you become what you were and following the same recurrence of the past?
We are trying.
Maybe.
We are trying.
I know, I just like that.
At least
to challenge you. That's
correct. You are very right. We are on the path. I'm not too pure. I just
see in the past, in several of your past lives, you were a professor. Knowledge, lots of knowledge. But then you decided to become spiritual, but you got stuck. And then in this life, you want to go deeper. So this time you make renunciation, wear a bald head and robe. This is good. I'm not knocking it. I don't
to save time.
But then it's still recurrence of your past. You have to go deeper.
Correct. That's what I'm trying to do.
Good.
And you know what? When fan is moving, our guru used to say, when fan is moving, if you really want to stop this moving of repeated troubles in samsara, you have to switch off the electricity supply first. Don't expect it's going to stop the next second. It takes time.
Oh, yes, it's like a big snowball.
Correct. Therefore, what we are trying to do, there's a process. As I in the beginning, if you can recollect, there is lift shortcut way, there's staircase way. There are a few, I'll make small example and we can go to next because we have only 10 minutes, 7 minutes left.
Sorry for taking too much.
Very, very important point. Unless we have our own realization, what's the point? But there were 3 Russian guys, they came to New York to buy some stuff. They were from far province area from Russia, from Siberia. And they came for the first time to New York. I thought, wow, they came to buy computers, electronics, and just they went to do so. But they got the room in the 70th floor of Improv building. Yeah, whatever, residential room. When they came with big bags, somehow it happened that the lift stopped working. Some real drastic problem happened. No electricity. They had to walk on the staircase. So while walking with all these bags, if you ever travel with huge suitcases so tough on the 70th floor, they were disappointed. They said, okay, let's speak some stories, these time past stories. And we'll speak about the danger. Danger in your life, accidents, whatever, something like, horror stories. Somebody said, I had some accident with my family, something, all the horrible stories they spoke. By the time they reached after many hours, one guy left. Okay, Petro, tell, what is your story? He said, the most dangerous story happened to me today. Really? What is that? Accident is nothing compared to this dangerous story. What is that? We forgot our key from the reception. It's a joke, of course, but what happens sometimes we are climbing wrong mountain and we're thinking we are right, but we forgot our key. And that key actually first comes from Guru. We have to get informational directions where you have to go. And then silence, and there's meditation, ahimsa, etc. It's already called, in yoga, it's called, process. Yam, niyam, asana, pranayam. It's niyam, rules. But we have to know the instructions. So it's very valuable, really I appreciate, because unless you have realization, what can you give? One saintly monk, he told me, even you speaking knowledge, prachar bhojan ka dakar. Dakar means like you're only eating enough food. Some birds come. That's actually your realization. When you eat yourself, yam swam bhava, you have to feel something. Then you can transfer this. It's Shakti Parinamavada. You can transfer that energy of love, of peace to others. But unless you have it, how we can give it? So that's one thing. But main point is that we are talking on understanding what is knowledge. 5 things. Do you remember what is the 5 things we have to know in this human life?
Who am I? Who is
The
God?
creator.
No, who am I? Who is God? Do you believe God? Do you believe God? Wait a minute. Do you believe God?
I'm sorry?
Do you believe that there is some creator?
Yes.
Very good. So that's why we have to know who is the fellow. And then we can ask him, why did you create this world? And this world follows trouble. Follows trouble of 3 kinds of troubles. Christian, Muslim, Hindu, Iranian, Russian, American. Adhyatmika klesha, adhibautika klesha, adhidaivika klesha. 3 kinds of sufferings. Sufferings, we have to understand that. When you're coming to the doctor to open our eyes, we have a cancer. What? Yeah, I have 2 news for you, good and bad. Which one I'd like to tell you? Tell me first bad. We have a cancer. We're going to die in 3 months. Are you sure? Hey, then what's good? We have Alzheimer's disease as well. So by the time you'll die, you'll forget that you have cancer. You'll die peacefully. Don't worry. Good or bad, that's like that. Really. Adhyatmika klesha is reality about the creation, my dear friends. It's reality. Of course, we're trying to adjust as maximum profit from that bargain. We're trying to adjust it to be more happy here. But at the end, don't adjust yourself in the toilet. First I told you, we entered rest room. Have you seen what it's like? Rest room when you enter. It's interesting language, huh? In Canada, US, everything is kind of covered, really nice. Rest room, rest. But in Vedas, it said, it's dukhalayama shashvatam. You have to do your business and get out from here as soon as possible. Wash yourself, get out from here. There's no time of resting here. It's just pretty much opposite. Tamasima Jyotirgamaya. Don't stay in ignorance, go to the light from here. Don't remain. Jesus Christ said, I came here, I'm from different world, from house of my father. Come with me, I am the path. To get out, I am in this world, but not of this world. I am guest here. Right? As you can understand. We are spirit soul. So, but we can trust here. Unfortunately, all modern environment bombarding us with information how we can make this world very nice and peaceful. And very few people can get information about what to do after that and how to reduce our karma and how not to do, how to get out from here basically. Rest room, but it's a dirty place. If you can go to village toilet with AC, you can put some France perfume, Agent de la Français. Agent, very nice France perfume. How long is going to be good smell there? Because by the essence, this place is not meant for enjoyment, ultimately. Adhyatmika creation, suffering from this body, birth, death, old age, and disease. Disease, not easy at all. Our guru, one monk, he was telling that we're thinking enjoyment here when somebody will beat you for 23 hours by the stick on the head and then leave you for 1 hour. Whew. When suffering reducing a little bit, we call it enjoyment. Just because I'm not sick yet, because I'm still alive, moving around. But do you think that we're not going to be somewhere on the way out from this world? Then what to do? And it's very, very important questions. When will you die? What are you going to do? Do we have any piece of information about that? Do you know? When you leave this body, which can happen any moment, believe me. We were sitting in Nepal, earthquake started. Boom, boom, finished. You're thinking, I'm thinking you're going to live forever, or at least for 20, 50 years. No guarantee. Really no guarantee. Are you sure? We're not thinking about that, of course, but reality is such that anything can happen any moment. Adhyatmika creation means suffering from the body, birth, death, disease, old age, etc. Sitting in the womb for 9 months, like this suffering. Coming to the small hole, crying, welcome. And we're thinking, okay, suffering from nature, adhyatmika creation, earthquake, tufan, tsunami, whatnot. So many things, disasters taking place. Maybe not here, but you go to Indonesia, or South India, it was tsunami recently. Or hurricane in Miami, Rita. You know how many people crying there? Oh, it's not me. You can see only on TV. It's only a question of time. Believe me. In Russia, every day thousands of people dying because Russia and Ukraine war. I just was there. My friends dying. It's okay, it's alright, because of antibiotic creation, suffering from another living entities. Mosquito bite, typhoid, malaria, snake bites, terrorists came, 9/11, etc. So we're trying to adjust in the place where it's Dukhalaya Shashwatam. So this leaves manuscripts, they informing us, wake up, this place of danger, don't try to adjust yourself. You have to do something. And Jesus Christ said you have to love God most of all. And to love means work, to do something. To love, oh, Jesus Christ will be full of it. He didn't say that sit down and sit do nothing. No, wait a minute. That's the process. And when you come to somebody and you love somebody, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. What love? Do something. Give me some flower. Take me to a restaurant. Let's go and do something. Love means action of appreciation. So what we do here, just to answer your slight challenge, we came here with such a headache traveling thousands of kilometers just to meet you and give you piece of information which you cannot get anywhere.
You get it here.
No.
The Philosophical Society.
Information,
Tremendous knowledge here.
information, I mean saying information, knowledge. You see, I'm telling my personal realization. And I could have listened personally myself. I said, well, Srila Prabhupada came to America, our guru, right? Sit under the tree. If you can read his book, I was reading in the beginning, I was crying. What this saintly man to do with hippies, drugetics, prostitutes in New York, in Berkeley? What is he doing? Sitting alone, no food, nothing, no money. For what? One of the friend monks, he wrote the book, Mukunda Maharaj, Miracle on 26th Second Avenue. He said, I was hippie and I came to the room And I saw how he was living there. Drunkards, vomit there, stinking, no light, and this saintly monk living in a small room, smaller than this one. He said, no sane man can live here. Even I'm hippie, I cannot live like this. But this man, aristocratic man, came from India. Must be he has some mission out of compassion. It's a mission of compassion. To give somebody, like one candle and match. Once match came to the candle and said, match, can I light you? And candle said, no. Because I will become corrupt, I will become very ugly if I will start to give light. Fire will eat my form. I'll become I'm Miss Universe now. I want to be in comfortable zone. In Moscow, Canada, New York. I don't want to stretch myself. I don't want to give this knowledge. No. And Matt said, it's our mission. We're made for giving light. I'm designed, I'm matched. And I'm sacrificing my life to enlighten you. So you can enlighten others.
That's only one viewpoint. So for instance, just to throw something into the pot, so you can stir. The divine forces, whether Krishna, Vishnu, however, these forces pouring through and changing the east to the west. See Prabhupada, very focused bhakti. He's a strong, one-pointed bhakti. Drag him into New York. So he created Hare Krishna, but the purpose, higher, deeper purpose, Hare Krishna is a reaction to the materialism. People walking in New York later, even in Toronto, the Hare Krishna, they say, wait, crazy people, bald head going, Hare Krishna, Krishna, etc. Makes people think in the mass. They never read the Vedas, they don't read Bhagavad Gita as it is, even though people hand it out, but it creates a reaction to help build spirituality in the West. So then other yogis, Vishnudevananda, Sachidananda, all these so-called, Prabhupada is one of the better, but and Yogananda, etc., they come and help to counter, because materialism is so strong in North America. Okay, it needs shafts of light. Christianity becoming weak and too material in itself, only wanting money here, money there. So Prabhupada is an agent. The Beatles were an agent too, because they meditate, and then all of a sudden the word meditation became mainstream. You go back in the 50s and you talk about meditation. What? But after the Beatles, people, meditation, ashram. George Harrison went to an ashram. Then you get Prabhupada. Mantra. Let's chant, Hari Om, etc.
Do you think there is some higher plan for that was happening?
Yes, that's what I'm expressing. That it's a higher force that's got the same with Theosophy and Blavatsky having to start in New York, even though she had to go to India before she got known, because India is the holy, Israel is not the holy land, India is the holy land.
Have you heard about Bhavishya Puran?
The Vishnu Puran.
Bhavishya, it's for future. Puran knowledge is this kind of future.
Yes.
And also there's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, have you heard?
Yes.
So he gave prediction. In this age, consciousness of people has to change now. For the next.
There was a saint in the 8th century, and he said, when the shadow of the iron wing casts its shadow over the snowy mountains, the Dharma will move to the west. That was in the 8th century. That was a great saint, Padmasambhava.
Very good, very good. Many predictions like that. That's why it's nothing, for us it may be new, but we have also like small instruments. So in Sanskrit, nimitta matra. Nimitta means instrument. So we have to be instrumental.
I'm just giving different.
Very, very good. I really agree with you. But the only thing we have to see the bird-eye view picture. And God comes.
That expands your mind when you broaden your picture and you see things in the totality. And then you see the oneness, how everything is a flow.
Yes, exactly. That's what Vedas, it's exactly his teachings, is giving us bird-eye view picture of the problem. And of course, we can see.
You don't need the I don't read the Vedas.
No, but in totality is love. And God comes here out of love by seeing suffering of his children. Get out from here. Come, this is the path. And you're right. When you go into some shopping center, depends on your amount of money you have. Not everybody can afford. In Kumbh Mela I mentioned, there's so many millions of people coming from villages and religious people. And in the road, they are selling some small items, like 10 rupees, 15 rupees, and it looks like gold, different plastic, golden plated. And people can afford 10 rupees decorations. But if you want to go to get real gold, you have to go to jewelry shop. And it costs big price. And how many customers are there? Only few. That's why even Bible says, many call, only few can enter. So similarly, you're right, every people, there is level, and for different level of people, different personalities coming to bring them and uplift them. That's true.
Atma is the same in all,
Right.
but the quality of the vehicle is different.
Exactly. And the vehicle depends on karma. And it depends on the different coverings. Ignorance, passion, etc. And we are here to uncover that. That our life and what happened according to scriptures, as I told you from the very beginning, and I believe we can have to conclude now, in Vedas. So Shruti, Srimvatam Swagata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanam Srimvatam, you have to listen. Vedas should be listened.
Too many words.
I'm telling you that to contract your point of sitting silent is one thing, but Vedas say to understand and get enlightenment to the ears, which you have to listen.
Yes, but it's who you're listening from.
Exactly.
That's important.
Exactly. And that's why I brought the point to the Srila Prabhupada. He was speaking this mantra and he changed millions of hearts because sound was very pure. And that sound purifying our consciousness and that destroys the karma. Experience of holy name comes from association. Balance. There are 4 levels: social, emotional, physical, and spiritual areas. And Vedas, they're giving knowledge about 4 areas. How to be nice to have the head among the clouds, keep your legs on the ground. It's not just small book only. It's very vast knowledge about bringing the balance in these 4 areas. How to get the balance? The ideal balance is we have to make our life from morning to evening. And for that also, psychological level Ayurveda very important. For those who really want to know, I can give you some suggestions how to wake up and how to go to sleep. We have different influence of different forces like air, fire, earth in the atmosphere. We have to do different activities in different times of the day. If you have that information, then you can get real mental, social, spiritual balance also. Relationships, actually is foundation. Even you can go from this material world to the spiritual world also. It's called 3 times bigger than this creation. And there's relationships also there. And main thing, relationship between God and Atma. There's the main relationships. If you disconnected from these relationships, whatever you do, it's useless. You have a nice camera, but not connected, and you're not charging your battery. What's the use? Nice car, no connection, you didn't put the essence. Disconnection. Mobile telephone, I don't have SIM card, it's disconnected. It doesn't function properly because we disconnected. That's why yoga comes from the root yuj, dhatu. Root means connection, to connect relationships between us and God. Become more open, minded. And by changing mantras, our mind become purified from lust, greed, anger, and become more space in heart drive. It become very open. Deeper realization, unless you practice it, how you can get realization? I cannot teach you how to eat. If you're hungry, I cannot explain how tasty it is. You have to eat yourself. That's why it's called bhajana kriya. It's 3rd stage of realization. Ato shraddha, you have faith, you came here. Some faith. Then sadhu sangha, association. And 3rd step, bhajana kriya, you have to apply knowledge which you got in practice. Unless you make this 3rd step, it's remain theory, audio without video. But action speaks more loudly than words. And then learn more about the science of God. Science of God is Vijnanako. Jnanam Vijnanam Sahitam. It's really scientific. I'm not speculating here. It's science. It's a science of self-realization. And it includes very, very step-by-step scientific process, whether we are willing to come or not. And in this way, I can really, if you give me 1 more minute, should we go to one more briefly? Okay, please be with us. Not everybody can purchase this knowledge. Means they cannot receive this knowledge. What comes to my mind? One boy coming with one girl, and he has in his pocket only 20 Canadian dollars, for example. They're walking. I said, let's go to a restaurant, let's have some food. And the boy says, okay. But he knows that In order to enter that restaurant, 5-star hotel, you have to give tips to the waiter. Right? You have seen that well-to-do people, when they get getting your luggage, they have to give some tips to him. And he knows I have only $20. If I'll give them that, I'm going to do that. Let's buy something, as they say in Hindi, sasta kama rasta, some kind of small snack on the road. He will not be able even to enter that 5-star hotel. Another boy coming, and he has $200, let's say. And they coming and go, let's go to the restaurant. They coming, okay, let's go. And he has 200. He doesn't know what's the price, the menu. He comes and waiter, yes sir. And just to impress the girl, $20, okay? And girl, wow, my boy is cool. But he's thinking 180. Then they come into the restaurant, he shows as if he's a super cooker. Okay, give me money, please. And one meal costs you $500. Oh no, it's useless. Let's go another place. It's actually, I don't like this place. Actually, it's not like I cannot pay. He wants to make impression that I can pay, but I don't like this place. And start to give the reasons to take it from here. Make sense? Because people cannot accept. I went to Thailand, and it was like ISKCON University, Professor Mr. Lee in university some years ago, and I'm giving a lecture to the professors in the university, religious department. They're teaching Quran, Bible, etc. And head of department, we happened after the lecture was nice and really appreciated. We sit down in the office with him. 2. He happened to be Catholic, Christian. And I asked him, Mr. Professor, let me ask you as a teacher, who is God? You're teaching people about science of God. Who is God? Any idea? I asked him, he's professor, he's teaching all over. And he said, no, I'm thinking. No, not thinking. Yes, no. Yes, no. If you know who is God, tell me. If you don't know, perhaps you have to listen. But you have to admit the fact. Do I know or not? That maybe Jesus Christ says, see, I'm Christian, I know Bible from childhood. Jesus Christ never told that I'm Father. I'm Son of God. I came from Father. I'm going back to my Father. In Hindi they say, Baap ka beta sipai ka ghoda kuch nahi to thoda thoda. Like Father saying Son. It's nothing, then something must be there. And he is going to the Father. We have to love Father most of all. Who is Father? I'm thinking, yes, no. And he told me, actually, no, honestly speaking, I don't know. Some voice from the sky, fire in the bushes, etc. Some speaking, who is he? And if I don't know who is he, how I can love him? Common sense. Very often uncommon. If I love you, I want to make relationships with you. Shake hands, how are you? I can respect you and love you. But if I don't know who are you? So that's why science, like dictionary, people asking why, if God wanted one scripture for everyone, that's it. But like I'll tell you, different scriptures, they are like different dictionaries. There's pocket dictionary, Oxford dictionary, 4,000 words. There's encyclopedia dictionary, 18 volumes, whatever. And a simple word, table. In pocket dictionary will be told you, table means furniture structure to maintain the objects, whatever. That's one definition, pocket. But encyclopedia dictionary will give you a much wide picture. Timetable, train table, furniture table, whatnot, chemical tables, Mendeleev. So many tables are there, right? Digestion food for the small baby. Papa, how we are eating food? Poop, mouth, going to stomach, going poop, out. That's it, that's the explanation for the baby. 10 plus 2 student of biology, middle school. Okay, you go in the mouth and going to things, then the DNA, RNA is going to different, more complicated explanations, right? And then amino acid coming this side and this, and then what waste is going on. And professor of biology in university, PhD level, digestion process, thesis. You can guess, it's much more complicated. Similarly, knowledge given to different people according to different level. And what you're talking about one level, certain level, and who has big view picture. He can tell you this nirvana, light, om, is only middle path. There's way to go. But if you don't know, for you it's final in this lifetime. That's why Veda says, Bahunam janmanamanti gyanavanmam prapadyanti.
They don't say that at all. It's you who are expressing.
I'm recording it.
You're just recording. What's the
Yashat antakata jananam punya karmanam.
Say it slowly in English. and explain it.
I'm trying to make it more
And so like,
authorized.
you talk like a Hindu teacher, you go to India, they all go, blah, 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 and because they show their ego, saying, look what I know, look at my knowledge,
Please
I
forgive
am
me
so
for my
great.
existence, for my ego.
That's what you're
But
expressing.
ego, no, but I'm
Listen to the lecture, okay?
I am,
I know.
Because
What
making it
I'm trying-
interesting, making it interesting.
No, it's very good. So
And he's very good
we
as
give,
a talker
we give,
because he knows
If you're
how to
not being
counter.
respectful, you should be
You know,
respectful.
we have the point that we're living not one life. Do you agree with that?
Exactly, yes.
Correct. So what we're saying that it takes many, many lifetimes to accumulate the pious activities to be eligible to enter there. Many go there, very few enter. Do you agree that all people sitting here are different? Everybody have 2 hands, 2 legs, but karma and amount of everyone's piety is different here. Do you agree with that? Sure. Then, do you think we should not do anything to accumulate pious activities to pile up our bank account there in pious activities bank account? So you will be eligible and allowed to enter different realm of understanding based on your activities.
True.
So what we should do in this lifetime, so to accumulate pious activities bank account, what should we do? What's the best? We have very less time. Perhaps you're already 50 plus, 60 around. How old are you?
Over 70.
Wow, you look very young.
Thank you.
But one thing is very nice. See, how much we have to live. Usually people living 80 max in this lifetime.
No,
100. But you live 100 plus, definitely.
Probably 79, I figured.
Okay, but even they have out of few years more to live, 10 years, half of them will going to sleep.
Depends, most people. I
Okay,
sleep
out of
very
10 years, sleep 7.
I sleep very little.
3 years you will sleep, out of 7 years, less than that.
Probably.
But 7 years, and also it's down the hill. We are not, me too. Today I have some kind of difficulties, also physical pain here and traveling is some kind of pain. So I need some kind of recover myself naturally. When traveling, time belts and all. So body already down the hill. It's not going to become young, bright age. We have to spend time for so many things. And real active time, which you can really think about something very valuable, generally speaking, not you. Very less. No time. In all life, we didn't have time to study about spiritual science. Now we at the end, I'll think about that. No way. No way. Most experience shows. So that's why it's education starts from childhood. From childhood. In fact, it starts from the womb. And I was mentioning the other day that my friend came from Germany just a few months ago. The government of Germany invited him to translate Vedic scriptures. And they have a national library, which lasts kilometers in Sanskrit wisdom, which Hitler, he brought from India during the Second World War. They're not foolish people. They want to know deeper. And he was also speaking about how to beget the children. 5,000 years ago written, Garbha Upanishad, how to beget the children, with what consciousness, what kind of soul we have to invite in the womb of mother. Not just because of a bottle of whiskey Saturday night, right? We should not expect people to have the same level. That's why this life meant to create punya, piety. And there's many, many lifetimes takes to accumulate punya, so many life. Antagata jananam punya karmanam. So we have to worship the Supreme Truth only after many, many lifetimes of piety. And here, somebody can share the knowledge how to get such a shortcut. But in this very lifetime, you're back. There you go. You can work to buy some car, you have to work like donkey for many years, collect your money, and somebody comes and says, okay, take a gift for you. Wow, thank you. Don't you think we have to be grateful? And that's your Prabhupada. He came, and whatever people cannot understand millions of lifetimes, he came like that, under the tree. Now I'm here. And they're also here. And they're not just faking it out. My mother kicked me out from the house, my family kicked me out. They told that I'm crazy. And we went to the acid test, fire, ether, water. So we're talking about realization. This is realization. And my mother now, I was sharing yesterday, she came in contact and said, I got so much love. She got cancer a few years ago. And she called me, why God did it to me? My son is priest somehow in India. Why God so cruel? I said, Mommy, come. And she came to India. I took her around for 1 month. She was in sorry places and she felt something. Now she was also like this. I didn't take computer because today she's like that again. I'm sending mantras now. And she told me, I got in 1 month, I got so much love and feeling that I didn't get in all my life. It's about transformation experience. We are right.
Yeah, there's a lady here in Toronto who is becoming a famous dancer. Russian, anyway, she got throat cancer. She making good money. She went to doctors in the United States. They said 5 months to live max. We can't do anything. This was quite a few years ago, some technology. She went to India, shaved her head, became a nun, lived in an ashram. 5 years later, before she died with no medication, her whole life was expanded because she made such a shift in dedication.
Yeah, true. That's why they say in Hindi also, dukha mein sumera sukha mein sukha mein karana. When difficulties comes, people have to be shaken. What is my destination? What is my actual real goal? It's so true. That's why sometimes before it's called 4P golden rule. Previous precautions prevent the problem. So that's why when somebody gives us direction, before it's too late, it's such a valuable. That's why we cannot buy knowledge, we cannot buy happiness, we cannot buy love. Because real opulence and what's called opulence is not money. It's something which you cannot buy by money. You drop one drop of tear and see how many people will come to wipe it. Who will give you the shoulder? That's real opulence. So there's so many other things we cannot buy by money. So that's why God realization is a science, stress management. Actually, somebody asked our guru, how are you relaxing? What is your recreation? We had some nice kirtan. Dancing kirtan, 1 hour in Los Angeles. Nice kirtan, I'm dancing. Can you imagine people from morning to evening, we are dancing? And I'm traveling for the last 20 years with this guy. And I'm going to airport and all customers say, what is this? I'm chanting mantras. Really, even in Dubai, I have one guru, Mahavishnu Maharaj. He comes to Dubai, Muslim country. Nobody allows as a Hindu another religion. He comes like this, like monk with accordion. What is this? He says, I'm singer. I'm singing. Why? Is it allowed to sing in your country? Yes, it's allowed. So I'm singing. And he's singing. He's 75 years old. He's dancing and singing. Can you imagine? Can we go realization? Can we go in the street and dance together? Perhaps people say, cannot. Oh, sorry, sir. I can't. That's my realization. That's real realization. I can go down the street and dance and sing. Mantras and happy people. And when my mother came, she always thought that I'm crazy. You fool! Dancing in the street like in our country, only mental asylum people and crazy people is bad shit. Really, my father fainted. I was Lieutenant Commando Officer and I'm bad shit. Now she came to Kathmandu and there was our ladies. She also went in the city and also dancing. As we said, boom, boom, boom. Well, when you're happy, of course, we don't want extreme. We have to package in a very digestible way. We should not just be crazy. But she was dancing, and I told Mom, you also dancing now? What happened? I'm like you also, I'm so happy, I'm also crazy now. Because when you wake up, and now she doesn't have cancer. Hey, she came back to home and said, far out. Doctor surprised, I have cancer now. Of course, she's an old lady, but she's cured now. Anyway, whatever it is, it's a side effect. The point is when you're happy, it's not going, you shouldn't be singing and when somebody happy, it's naturally coming, right? Every step is a dance, every word is a song. No stress. So ask him, when the reporter came, Swamiji, that's okay, dancing is, or your worship is okay. What about your recreation?
This is my recreation.
They asked, yeah, brother, what? He asked, what? She's asking, what? Recreation, how are you relaxing? Как говорит на русском, как вы расслабляетесь, а мы напрягаемся. What is your recreation? That's how recreation. From morning to evening, it's recreation. And if you can do something which you like to do all your life, then no need to work for you. All life will become, even job you are doing, which you like to do, it become hobby. It's real happiness, it's real realization. Unless I feel happy by coming such a tension, taking such a headache of coming my schedule, like for the last 2 months I visited 5 countries, everyday programs, I tell you, people tell me, no sane people, I want some comfortable zone, I want to live my own life. Srila Prabhupada, he went to America, sacrificed his own comfort, 2 heart attacks and stuff. And if you have a little bit of compassion and feeling, you can, out of love, you can go for the cross. You can take inconveniences for the sake of stretching your helping hand to others. And it is said, you can never expect people to lend their helping hand unless you'll be able to touch their heart. Therefore, the secret of relationships, 3A, we discussed the other day. 3A, available, appreciate, and attention. That's another seminar. But we have to be available. So here we are, we are available. Ask the question. And remember the example of the two glasses, right? That's very important. It's not by chance I'm giving this example, because by seeing some people, I'm meeting with hundreds of thousands of people. And by seeing the face of people, if somebody wants realization, I can tell you about you, what you're thinking now. I can tell you. Not because I'm boasting of my mind, I'm not proud. It's just like, doctor, okay, you have jaundice, okay? I think you have to go to this treatment. Why are you so cruel? That's line of treatment, what can I do? Anyway, and this is the purpose of existence. Purpose of existence. Come on. Very, very important. You know, there is no wind will be favorable for us unless we know where we are swimming. And purpose of existence, in brief, to establish our forgotten relationship to the Supreme Father. It's called yoga, huge. And to love Him. And there's different stages to do that. And we have to do it as soon as possible. Better late than never. And Vedas giving us scientific process how to develop that love. And that process comes with the hearing. Krishna Bhakti Nitya Siddha Sadhu Kabuno Shravanari Shuddha Chitta Korea Udoy. Fire here in the wood. You have to enlighten it. But if it's wet, even you can try to give some lectures. Matirna Krishna Prato Satova Punasya Charvananam. You can give lectures, put them in different meetings and seminars and nothing. It's wet. It's not going to ignite the fire. It has to become dry first. Similarly, sinful people, unqualified people, even Jesus Christ said, right? Don't throw the jewels in front of unqualified people. For you to be wise where ignorance is bliss. That's why I'm very happy when qualified people came to hear. And as I was mentioning yesterday, when somebody is sick, cannot digest properly, whatever he eats, he's just passing everything. According to Ayurveda, we have to feed him ghee. Ghee is
Verified butter.
Unverified butter. He will definitely vomit everything, but something will remain on the intestine. And that will maintain his life. Something. And eliminate karma. Aham tam sarva papapyo mokshesham mashute. How to delete it? We have to release so much prarabdha, kuta, bija, prarabdha karma, so much big mountains of karma which coming up. As you said, previous vasanas, like dinosaurs come from where? From previous lives. That's like scriptures explain, if you can simply satisfy the boss. He said, if I am happy, I will delete your karma like that. And you can do this by chanting his holy name in this age. Father, glorify the name of Father. Jesus said, Inshallah, name of God. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Kevalam. Only holy name of God. Because holy name has the same power to destroy all the impurities in our heart. And that's practical. Namamakari Bhavan is Sarva Shaktis, all energies, and we have to believe it. And when you're chanting holy name, and in this age is Maha Mantra. There is many names. You can chant any name. Not just silently. Meditation also can be silent. I'm chanting also silently, meditating on God. But also there is japa, there is kirtan. Kirtan for the benefit of everyone. If you got the medicine from cancer, you cured yourself and you're not giving to others, you're criminal. If I cured myself and I'm not distributing that, I'm criminal. So similarly, Srila Prabhupada came, he got the formula for peace. He said, I give you peace. Take this mantra. And when people start to chant the mantra and follow the principles of non-violence, purity, truthfulness, right, etc., they got the effect. We have the diet and medicine. Morning, evening, one tablet. That's why we are chanting. You chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, you follow 4 principles. Because any religion, mercy, austerity, cleanliness, and truthfulness. You're getting the point. I know you might already out, but I'm concluding now. 4 principles of religion. We should not eat meat, which is meant with violence. We're killing the life of other living entities in our to reduce the karma. I'm getting close to this point. How to reduce karma? We should be an element of mercy, which Buddha was propagating. No violence, ahimsa. We should not eat meat. By chance, I have not asked you whether you are vegetarian or not. You see? Mercy. Second one, purity. Purity of mind, purity of body. You have to live a very proper life, right? According to social rules. Truthfulness, no gambling, because when gambling, we are telling we have to say lie. And austerity. Every religion has austerity point, principle. We have to follow principles. Follow principles. And the unity of religions, what can be united when God is in the center? You can chant Allah, you can chant the name of Jesus, you can chant the name of Yahweh, you can chant the name Ram. God has many names. In Sanskrit they say, Rama Dimurti Shukalani Yamina Ishtam Nana Vatara Makaradvane Shukintu. Unlimited ways in the ocean, so many incarnations of God. I can change many verses of myself, but I am the same. You can like Rama, Yahweh, Krishna, Nrisimha, Allah, any name you chant. You can morning time, you can do your silent meditation, no problem. But in the daytime, we'll be united by service to Him. You can chant respective names, but what can unite us is love for Him and service together. Many small hands do big work. Unity. Inspiration. I'll conclude with one small song, if you want. And wisdom. Wisdom is not information. This is, I hope there's some valuable points here. One saying, he said, you can find gold even in dirty place. You can find good wife even from low family. And you can take advice even from crazy fellow. If it's good advice, in fact, I took advice from you very seriously what you spoke. Perhaps you don't even understand what you spoke. But for your word international, it's somebody speaking to me. With that piece of information, I had to act my puzzle actually today morning. I was thinking, what should I do? And in particular, one line you told me, and I found it. The scripture says that if you're looking for God, He's in every atom of creation. You can see how God speaks to you. But if you are grass like this, you cannot hear. Even God will come in front of us. Listen! No, I don't believe. But if you are humble, from one person by way, I can tell you hundreds of examples from my life. Somebody walking and tells, do this! Thank you. And I do, and everything is successful. Because God is in the heart. Faith, I hope it can be also done by associating with those who have faith. Be in the moment and learn. So now I'm very happy to be with all of you today. And if I have several songs, one in Russian, one, in fact, I even took, flute. You know why I like flute? I can play flute for you. And this philosophical point, I learned from the flute. I learned from the flute. Very nice point. When you're blowing from one mouth only, you can produce 1 2 sounds only, right? But when you're blowing to the instrument, same like bullet. If you can throw this, the bullet, it can hit you, but when you put it in the machine gun, it's more powerful. So when they're blowing the sound to the instrument with many holes, you can create so much sound. Therefore, because we're going not only me, we also reciprocating, there's some flavors there. And we can conclude with this. Without any endeavor, just a little bit, few, but many things done by many holes, and we have so many holes here. When we blow the spiritual energy, we can produce so many wonderful sounds, and that sound can reach the ears of many people, those who never heard of us. Thank you so much. Very less time, but I'm really honestly happy, and I hope you can still interact if you have any questions. At this point, you can those who are late, please kindly you can go. If you have any few questions, you can just still share a few things with you. But it's getting late, and rest is best. Wonderful taste, otherwise time is waste. So, thank you so much for your participation. Yes.
I wanted to ask, so you mentioned that you learn and study different religions, and you've been enlightened at some point, but then you turn into become Hare Krishna devotee. Like, what was that turning point that changed your mind, that tell you that this is the way?
The scholar said that it's feeling in the heart which awakened by saying people. Really. I was studying, but when I came in contact with certain people was Guru, and instead of being silent, of course, he just spoke only once. Haribo! And I was feeling something happen. I never felt that before. And then I was thinking, I want to maintain that feeling. What is that? And slowly, but you can maintain it blindly, you have to follow the process. It's a long story, I don't want to start that, but it's very interesting. Even for me, sometimes surprising. How come? I would never ever believe somebody will tell you going to become a monk in Himalayas and you're going to teach the science all over the world. Forget it. I have different plans. But then propose, God dispose. And I'm very happy this happened. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. I have small